Gerry McCann, why did you want to come here to a conference of television executives?
I think the first thing to say, Nick, is that when I actually agreed to do it, we hadn't predicted what was going to happen to the degree of coverage, and really the reason I'm here was primarily to tell people that Madeleine is still missing and we're still looking for her, and particularly to touch an international audience. What I didn't expect was there to be such intense coverage of the news story for such a long time.
Why do you think that is?
I think that there is undoubtedly a huge desire for people to, one, want to find Madeleine, but to know what's happening. But there clearly is a lot of pressure on people to write things just now because they're in Portugal when there's not actually very much happening.
Do you feel in some ways that you've unleashed a monster? In the very early stages you were desperate for publicity and you courted publicity very effectively. Now do you feel it's run away from you?
I think that's far too simplistic. There was a huge media presence in Pride Illusion day one before we really had done anything. All we did was to make a conscious decision to interact with the media and to raise awareness of Madeleine's disappearance. And I never ever expected, and I don't think it's necessarily beneficial to have constant coverage. What we just want is, given the huge saturation, particularly in the UK and also in Portugal, what we really just want to do, I mean, we hope it never gets there, but if Madeleine is still missing, we just want to remind people from time to time, infrequently now, that she is still missing and we're still looking.
From the outside, it appears that you've been running, candidly, crudely, a very professional campaign with a lot of very experienced public relations professionals and so on. I mean, clearly that is accidental, but how did that come about?
Well, it's not at all. You know, we're just happen to be a fairly ordinary family, some of whom were quite good at speaking on television. Of course, we had advice at the beginning from the PR people brought in by Mark Warner, Alex Woolfall, who gave us some excellent advice. You know, what are your objectives and how's it going to help your search for Madeleine? And then, due to this massive media demand on us, not the other way around, not us asking for media, we were advised that we should have a family spokesperson, and we asked the Foreign Office to provide that, and they did support us, and that was very, very important to protect us from the media in what has been incredibly difficult emotional circumstances. And then we of course did decide that we needed someone to help advise us longer term for our campaign, and with Madeleine's fund we decided to appoint a campaign manager. And I have to say, we appointed somebody to plan our strategy sort of medium and long term if it was needed, but actually her job has been full-time handling the media.
Would you like the media then now to go away? What do you want to happen over the coming weeks and months, apart obviously from getting Madeleine back?
I think the key thing is that what we would ask is that the story, Madeleine's disappearance and the investigation, is reported responsibly and only newsworthy material being reported.
So you would like much less coverage?
Absolutely, because you know there has been huge amounts written with no substance.
How stressful have you found it, and has Kate found it?
Madeleine being missing has been incredibly stressful. Being under a media spotlight has added to that, and at times, leading up to the 100 days, that did reach fever pitch, and we felt very much badgered and unfairly, I suppose, as well. And probably something that we were prepared for in the first week or two, which didn't actually happen. To have, as it approached the 100 days, we weren't prepared for. But things have gone back to a degree of normality again, and some calmness has settled in, largely as a result of the Portuguese police official spokesperson. And that's what I would ask people to look at, is what is being said officially, that we are not suspects, that there is no evidence that we're involved in Madeleine's disappearance, and if there was, that the police would have to declare us as suspects. That's Portuguese law. And compare that to what's actually been written and covered. The two do not bear comparison.